This
Here.
conference will now be recorded.
Well, Nancy, I'm just thrilled. I didn't know that your husband wasn't going to be on here, but that's fine. Give me
Yes,
some
I'm so
background on,
sorry. He ended up having to work today, so I'm sorry he couldn't join us.
hey, somebody's got to bring in the dough.
That's right.
How have y'all been making it through this lockdown? And what part of the country are you in, by the way?
So we're in Illinois. I'm actually in Illinois. Pete is still in Indiana, so hopefully in a couple weeks he'll officially get to move here. So he's been working in Indiana and he's been waiting to get a job here in Illinois so that he could come out this way. So that's what we've been, keeping our fingers crossed for. It's looking good right now.
So what is your background, Nancy?
So my background has been healthcare for over 20 years. I've either been like a clinic manager, or I've also been an admission director in a nursing home. I've also done customer service relations in the nursing home. I've also been a social service director in a nursing home. So I have like a lot of background in nursing homes, especially that I really enjoyed, I think, the most. So which is why I've stayed in that for the last 7 years. And now I'm to the point of where I feel that, I've always wanted to get back into my entrepreneurial self. And because when I was 19, I did start my own business with my then husband. And we were very young, and we started our own business at 19 years old, and we actually did great things. So it was really a great time. We enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed the freedom and the ability to do what we wanted for our family. But then, my husband unfortunately had passed away when we were young. He was 27 when he passed away, or I'm sorry, I was 27 when he passed away, and he was 33. And we had two little kids at that time. So suddenly mom had to be mom, dad, and work three jobs. So it just kind of made a huge life change for us. And I got to the point of where I was like, okay, I guess I got to go back to the regular 9 to 5 situation. And I did. And I kept the business for a couple more years, but running the business and doing a couple other jobs just was not, and it was just too much. It got to be too much, and something had to give. So at that point, we decided, that I was just going to proceed the way that I did, and that was going back into healthcare. And then that's where I've been pretty much ever since. And I did recently, unfortunately, I lost my job recently. I was doing very well at the place that I was at, the nursing home I was at, and unfortunately, in this kind of line of work, it's unfortunately a little doggy dog.
Yeah.
And and they decided to take back the person that left them, and I had replaced her. And so it ended up, because I had a recruiter reach out to me, and so I took the position. And then suddenly she decided she didn't like where she was at, wanted to come back, and they took her back. And
Oh,
so in a moment's notice, at the end of the day on a Friday, here I am being one of those statistics of the next unemployed person at that point. And it was very, very frustrating, because I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I brought to the table. So so that was really hard for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I was doing great, and now all of a sudden here I am with the rest of the unemployed folks out here in Illinois.
that's exactly what happened to me. I worked for Apple Computer back in the late 80s. They had a plant out here in North Dallas where all the Macintosh computers were being built and shipped from here. And after about a year and a half there, they called me into the office and said, sorry, we're going to have to downsize this plant here, which eventually meant they were just going to shut it down. I just didn't realize it at the time, and move everything back to Cupertino. But man, what a shock to me at that time, because I was not expecting it. I thought I'd be with Apple for the rest of my career. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I was putting in lots of hours each week. This was in the early days when the two Steves still owned Apple Computer.
Wow.
It helped me, Nancy, get this business started with my wife, because Linda was doing some billing for a friend of ours who ran a durable medical equipment company here in the Fort Worth area. and she was doing real well and getting some referrals from other customers. And I thought, there might be a real business that I could help her build and just build it up to where we were doing medical billing and making lots of money, which we did. But at one point we started training and teaching other people how to do it. I had developed some marketing materials that worked. And so I just said, well, why don't we just jump into this full time, both of us? And that's what we did. So we sold the accounts that she had because I didn't want to be in competition, with my own
Sure. Sure.
licensees. And all of a sudden we were off and running. That's 27 years ago. That was 1994 when we licensed our first,
Wow.
person out there.
Yeah.
Tell me what you thought about the training itself. Cynthia and the whole curriculum. Was it what you thought it was going to be, or too much?
Yes, it was really great. Cynthia was amazing, of course, and we kept joking with her as we got into our last 3 modules. We kept saying, Cynthia, what if we have to call you? And she says, it's okay, you could call the support team. And I said, but we need you. And she honestly, she was just a true blessing for your company. She really helped us to understand a lot of things. It was definitely very jam-packed with a lot of information. So I could understand why you would only maybe want to do like two trainings a week, because it's a lot to digest and everything, especially for folks who aren't in the medical field at all, who don't understand maybe a lot of what this business is about. So for me, I was very in tune to it because I've been aware of it. But there was a lot of new things for me to even learn in it as well. For Pete, on the other hand, he was very new to all of this. He understood a lot of things, but because he's very bright, but he was like, wow, he goes, that is a lot of information. So we're both currently rewatching all of our videos right now and just kind of, retracing those steps just to make sure we don't have any other questions for support and see where we need to go from there. So
yeah. Good. Yeah,
no, it was very informational. You guys did a great job with putting that together. Yeah.
Thank you. That you wouldn't believe this, but every time she does that training, it's a little bit different because she's constantly updating and adding stuff to it, so it grows over the years. We had 8 modules at one time. Now there's 10, I think. So
yes, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We had the excitement as we were going through the process, getting all of our homework done, getting all of our business set up going and everything. Still working on a few things yet to get, completed as far as in the business setup, just so that I can make sure that, I'm ready to roll and that I'm prepared when I go out to speak to physicians. So I think that was my biggest thing, is I wanted to make sure that I'm ready from A to Z, before I step out there and start talking to them. So, yeah.
When I started helping my wife in this business, I had no idea what questions were going to be asked by the doctors. I didn't know anything about marketing. I was just walking in the door with a business card and introducing myself, and so naturally we decided since the COVID came along that we had to figure out how to do that more virtually. And so we're using technology like this right here to help the licensees to get in front of doctors and to do webinars for doctors to interest them in what you have. So that's all changed over the years. But Cynthia is the perfect example, isn't she, of somebody who just took this thing and ran with it and made a very big successful business out of it.
Yes, she has done a great job with those trainings. It was a lot of, like I said, a lot of great information that was so helpful to us. And anytime we've picked up the phone or anytime we sent her an email, she's Johnny on it and she's responding to us right away. So yeah, she's been great.
Now,
Definitely.
Have you been introduced to our Vice President of Support, Tim Warren?
Yes, I did get to speak with him on the phone. I called support one day and I got to talk to Tim. So yes, he has been another one of those little angels that you got working at your place.
Yeah, we're a virtual company. We teach people to build your business virtually. And Cynthia has clients all over the United States, that she's never met most of
Yeah.
them, but they're just referrals, from other doctors. And
Sure.
so we run our business as American Business Systems. We have for many, many years, just completely virtual. I'm here in my office, although this is a fake office behind me here. Uh, mine's pretty dull looking otherwise. And then Tim is in Alabama. We
Okay.
have people in Las Vegas. We have people in Florida, in California. Yeah, we've got technology partners all over the United States that all are supporting our licensees because they resell their technology or their products.
Right. Right.
So you
No,
you got
I
over you probably got over 100 people that are ready to support you. If we can't answer the question, we can get the right answer from somebody.
That's great. That's great. I think that was one of the things that Pete and I were really excited about was the support system behind us. So even though we're running our own business, we're not alone. So just having you guys there and us knowing that we could pick up the phone and support will help us, it was a big selling factor for us as well.
Well,
Yes.
believe me, that's what we're all here for. I tell everybody, look, your first goal of every day is to help some licensee to solve some problem that they're having. And that seems to have worked for the last 27 years. My son Adam, is now the CEO.
Yeah.
We turned it over to him
Yes.
this past
That's
year,
great news.
and so I'm the Dave of Wendy's. You remember Dave of Wendy's hamburgers? I'm just the face, but
Definitely.
I definitely have my finger in everything that's going on, all the meetings that are held and so forth, because I can do that, from here, from home, and still have time for all the honeydews that my wife comes up with.
Is that honeydew list getting longer for you?
Yeah, it seems to every day. She is a great wife, though. I've been with her now, let's see, 53 years in August. So
Wow.
I told her if she just continues on being a good person, I might try to stay with her another 53 years.
Well, I look forward to being able to meet you in person one day. That will be great.
Oh, we're constantly coming up with new things. Some of the licensees tell us, look, you can't keep coming up with these things. I can't learn about all these different things. I say, well, it's just optional. You can add them or not. Like we added dental billing, recently
Yep.
within the last year, and that was brand new for us. We hadn't got into that at all, but we finally made a connection with a technology company that has a true cloud-based billing system, and we wanted
Mhm.
that to match up with our medical billing. And so for people who know dentists, there's not as much billing to be done for dentists, but there's business out there. So,
Sure.
and we add
Sure.
those things and have never charged an extra penny to anybody. Everybody who's paid whatever license fee they paid at the time they joined us, that's all they've ever paid us. I don't believe in nickel and diamond people and trying to come back and selling them something new all the time. We just
Right.
throw it in and say, look, it's an extra service. If you offer it, we'll make a few pennies. And so we're happy to continue supporting you, on anything that you want to offer. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. We appreciate it, Patrick, and we've appreciated your team. Like I said, your team has just really been very, very helpful. Joanne has been such a great help to me. Every time I've called, I'm always talking to Joanne. So you guys have all been just so wonderful, and I can't thank you guys enough for everything.
Well, thank you. I'll pass that on now. Joanne is my second wife.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I
No, she's
noticed that you had the last same name.
no, she's actually my sister-in-law. My brother, Rick, is also employed by the company, and he works out of his home just like Joanne does, but
Okay.
they've been with me probably 12, 15 years now. And
Wow.
yeah, they do various things behind the scenes to help out. And Joanne is really good about getting the materials out. I guess you've gotten your materials a
Yes.
long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I
good.
had gotten them fairly quickly, and any time that I have called, Joanne literally is calling me back before I know it in response to whatever my question was. So she's been very efficient, and that gives me that extra that extra set of confidence, knowing that, okay, they're going to get back to me pretty quickly. So, so it's been very much appreciated.
So let me ask you, did you look at other businesses? Did you consider other businesses besides us?
Yes. Yes, we had looked at, actually before Pete got involved in looking at anything, I had initially was looking at like Pino's Palette. I was also looking at a couple of other small ones. I was looking at a Claim Tech was another company. But when I came across ABS, there was just something about ABS that just I had a more settled feeling about than some of the other companies. Not to say that those were bad situations, by no means, but just that, like, looking at that investment, as much as, you know, you're putting in almost 40,000 and then getting the thing going and getting the ball rolling and other additional costs that come afterwards. But honestly, with the support and the way that you guys made us feel and made us feel comfortable in that process, that was actually what ended up also being part of it that helped to make us, you know, want to work with this company. You know, and I loved the idea of the whole Pino's palette and having fun. I thought, what a fun, you know, opportunity that would be. And then I thought, oh gosh, just that investment was just going to be really exorbitant, and I just didn't want to go that route. And again, just having the support like I feel that we have here with ABS has been really tremendous, and it just put me in a good gut feeling space. And I'm that kind of person. If I'm not feeling something in my gut, then I don't do it. That's generally how I am. That's usually the little voice saying, don't do it, don't do it. So, but this opportunity was definitely not one of those situations. It was certainly something that I felt very confident with. And when I presented it to Pete, because I had already been watching you guys for a couple of years, and then when I brought it to Pete's attention, I said, Pete, what do you think about this company? He goes, wow, that's actually sounds pretty interesting. And I said, well, all right. So we started by watching videos together of your different webinars. And he says, I think we need to learn more about this company. And I said, I think you're right. So we decided to step forward with ABS and you know, and make that move. So, you know, of course we're a little nervous, we're scared, we're going to be getting our feet wet real quick here. So so I am, you know, a little nervous about how those first 5, you know, walking into the doctor offices are going to be. But I'm sure once I have my routine down of how I will, you know, present things or the questions based on their, you know, answers to their questions, you know, we'll see how everything moves forward, and, you know, and see how we can help them and all of their pain points, you know.
Well, that's good to hear. I know that there are other companies who do something similar to what we do, as you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure they've all got, you know, good programs, software, and so forth. Um, if they're not cloud-based, though, I tell people your future is not very secure with a company that has server-based software that has to be installed on your computer, because there's where all your patient data resides, and that's dangerous from a HIPAA standpoint, as you know.
Yep.
Plus the fact that you know, your computer could burn down or fire or whatever, and then it's all gone unless you backed it up regularly like you should, you know.
Yeah.
So the cloud it's just been the way to go. This was developed, our technology, over 20 years ago by 2 doctors who decided they wanted to do the clearinghouse function, which means that they set up the company originally just to receive the claims from other software and scrub it clean and make sure it's going to be ready to go to the insurance companies, and they forward it on. That's what a clearinghouse does. Well, now that's
Mm-hmm.
all built into our system. Within our own system, we have our own clearinghouse, and it just has huge advantages. But the fact that it's cloud-based makes it a whole lot better for updates and new codes and all that. You don't have to worry about that. You just log in, and every time you log in, you're using the latest software, you know.
That is great. That is
Yeah.
really great. So you guys certainly have provided us with all of the tools that we need to be able to be, you know, effective. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm very excited. And like I said, I'm a little nervous, but I'm very excited about getting the ball rolling here. So no, it's interesting. And that's why I said, you know what, I'm done working for other people and having other people dictate to me how much I can make. So my plan is that now the sky's the limit. And, you know, and then if I could bring good to other people around me, other people that I know that are good at what they do, or other billers or things like that, when it comes to that point where I need to hire other folks on, I'm super excited to bring in people that can feel appreciated, you know, and then that way I have them, you know, staying with me for years to come as well,
Right.
just like you have.
Yes.
So.
Well, good. I can tell you have a good heart, and that's important in business. You know,
Yes.
I don't like the corporate whole thing. That's why I was
Mhm.
glad to get out of it. Even working for Apple Computer, there was a lot of corporate stuff going on, and when they brought me in that day and let me know that I was laid off, I thought, I'm never letting this happen ever again. This is never going to happen to me again, because it was devastating. I went home crying. I mean, it was just horrible, because I was the
Yeah.
only sole, breadwinner for the family, and it was devastating. So I'm like you. I just decided, you know what? I can figure out how to make a living, be in charge of my own life, take off when I want to, work whatever hours I want to around the clock, as long as it's got
Mhm.
some kind of portability like this one has. You're connected anywhere. I could work from Hawaii and do the same thing I do now, you know.
Right.
And I've
I
interviewed
love that.
licensees who said that they've done that. They've taken their laptop to their hotel in Hawaii and just worked, with the Wi-Fi that's there. So,
That's right.
well, Nancy, I've been thrilled to speak with you today. I wish Pete could have
Thank
been on
you.
here. Tell him I said hello for sure.
I will.
I can send you a link to this recording if you want to show him what you did and
Yeah.
what I did.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time today, and tell the rest of the team and support, and Joanne and Adam, and Cynthia, that I really appreciate each and every one of you and the role that you play at ABS, because you guys are helping each and every one of us licensees to be who we want to be and be successful in our process. So thank you.
I appreciate that so much, Nancy. I'll certainly pass that on to him. All right,
It's a
Nancy, I'll
very
let you
good
go.
number.
Say hello to Pete for me.
I will. Thank you so much. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you. We'll
Yep.
talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.